What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 256. Yep, 256, and we started today's episode off by putting a new bid for Anthony Wynn of Spurs, and you guys can see now I'm just looking at some random players in the global transfer network, which I've scouted manually. I never use the actual scouts and send them out on instruction missions, and yeah, I mean, I don't even know like why I'm bothering. I'm sure you guys don't either, but the point is, like, we're coming towards the end of Career Mode now. Of course, this is our last season guaranteed, and you know, we're about to end the transfer window, January transfer window, the last transfer window of this series. And I just want to make one more signing, just because, like, even if it is just a random reserve player who doesn't even play at all, like, I just want to make another transfer, because at the end of the day, it's done now. Like, we've already got the squad we want. We've already got the squad we needed. You know, we don't need to buy any more players. We don't need to sell any players. Everything's perfectly fine. But I'm just sitting there thinking, why not? Basically, why not sign one or two more players? But still, we take on QPR for the first game of today's episode here at Loftus Road. And, well, this is really funny. The first chance fell here in the 36th minute. And actually, the first goal would be scored here as well, as Ezekiel heads in Danny Wright's cross. But with the left back, I passed the ball forward, realised that Danny Ings is probably offside, pulled up. And then with Danny Wright, I showed how much pace he's got, but I ended up running onto the ball. The QPR man got there first. We robbed it straight off him and ended up putting a cross in. And Ezekiel headed the ball in. So we made it 1-0 there. And in the 45th minute here, we almost made it 2-0. So fizzing across, but John Anderson's shot is blocked and cleared away. And it's still 1-0. And in the second half, we tried to start brightly once again. Here is QPR. Get themselves in a little bit of a muddle down the right-hand side. John Anderson collects the ball, plays it inside towards his man. It's not really cleared. Danny Ings goes for the bicycle kick, but it goes over the bar and out for a goal kick. So Ings almost extending the lead here as we were looking to make it 2-0. But as you can see, you know, this was an FA Cup game, and therefore the whole side was rested, because that's what I do in cup games. I rest the entire squad. And, you know, even the fringe players were playing fantastically well. Of course, QPR, a Premier League side, or are they a Championship side at this stage in the game? I don't know. They're a Premiership or Championship side. And to be honest, we were just running riot easily. I mean, I don't think they had a single chance yet, and it was 52 minutes in. And as Ezekiel makes it 2-0, there's no way back for the men from Loftus Road. We're on course for a simple win, and our name is getting put into the hat for the next round. So as you can see in the top left, we'd had 7 shots, they'd only had 1. I couldn't even remember when it happened, so I had no highlight for it. But we were just playing so well, and eventually we were going to score again. Some nice passing, saw Danny Wright get on the ball, got tripped up by the defender, and wins a penalty as well. So it was so simple, like, even with this backup side. And that's why, of course, you know, I showed you at the start of the episode when I was putting in 2 new bids for reserve players. I don't need new players. I don't need to sell any players. Everything's perfect here at Millwall. As Wright wins a penalty there, it was going to be John Anderson who would stand up to take it. Obviously, he was supposed to be the cult hero of the series. It never worked out, but he's fresh from his loan spell from Borussia Dortmund of all clubs. Can he convert his penalty against Costile? He stands up, stutters, and hits the bar. As my battery level for the controller's running out. But yeah, I hit the bar of Anderson, and it was annoying because I put way too much power on it, and I was like, oh, quick, start, I'm gonna blast over the bar, but I couldn't get it underneath the crossbar. It hits the top of the bar and goes out, and QPR cleared, and they did actually score a goal to get themselves back in the game in the 73rd minute. My missed penalty gave QPR a really, really good chance of actually going ahead to claim a surprise replay, if nothing else, in this game. But as the game was being closed out, they didn't really threaten after that goal, and we had a good chance to make it 3-1 here. A great ball down to McCullough down the right hand side. He takes on his man, he puts him on the floor and shoots, but that's a really poor finish, isn't it? Terrible from me. But the game does finish QPR 1, Millwall 2, and we are through to the next round of the FA Cup, which I believe will be the round of 16 stage. So yeah, Ezekiel's double means we are through, and it was a comfortable win. As I said, you know, although QPR did score a late goal, poor defending by me, you know, we missed a penalty, we missed loads of good chances. It was a comfortable win, and we are through. Following that, we saw lots of rejections for our transfers, which we're currently trying to get one of these players, and at least, again, it is, as you would have seen us at the end of the last episode, I think it was, these are just random centre-backs, and the reason I'm going in for a centre-back is because we only have 2 on the bench and reserves. We've got Sinclair in the reserves, and we've got Wilkinson on the bench, so why not add a third one? Because, I mean, we've got like 40 million to spend. Why not add a third sort of youth player? Because even though we'll never develop him, it's just sort of, it's realism, what can I say? But still, loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of rejections rejections and declines of contracts, Luke Shaw actually accepted his new contract, which he offered in the last episode. We offered Luke Shaw, our left back, a new deal because we may as well give pay rises to our players, keep them happy because we can afford to do so, and we are still in the hunt to bring in one or possibly two more players as well. So yeah, it's really simple right now. I mean, it really is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we've already got the league sewn up and we're definitely going to do everything this year, but as you'll see by the league table right now, actually here just for this game against Sunderland at Stadium of Light, we are top by 4 points, and that's not a big gap over Spurs. 4 points isn't too big of a gap, but at the end of the day, I really do feel as though we are going to extend our lead very soon, to be honest, because we've done so well this year. We've had a few hiccups here and there, notably against United when we lost at home, and a couple of draws which we should have got wins in, but the reality is we've been very good this season, and with the league as well, I definitely feel as though, well, touch wood as per usual, I still feel as though we should be able to retain our league title, and hopefully one of my main aim this year is of course win the treble, go out by winning the treble, and hopefully we should be able to do that. But still, this game against Sunderland was actually really bizarre because despite playing a complete backup side against QPR, which meant the first team were fully fit for this game, I got off to a really bad start, and Sunderland were really threatening from the off. Butland had to make a couple of really good saves. We got a really good slide-in challenge to block the ball just a moment ago as well, and Sunderland got off to a really good start. We almost got the opening goal there for Oxlade-Chamberlain, but it was still 0-0 just before half-time. But you'd have to say, Sunderland in the first half had more chances, they played better football, and it was a surprise because, I thought we would be a lot better in this game, but the Ox almost scored from halfway line there. Very unfortunate, just went over the bar. I'm so determined to score one more halfway line goal in this series before it ends, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because it is insanely hard. But it was still 0-0, and on the stroke of half-time again, Sunderland get the ball away. The Ox puts his man on the floor, collects it, turns him, keeps hold of the ball, gets onto his right foot here. Didn't really know where to go, so I gave it to Eric Dier. Eric Dier finds space, but that shot is just absolutely atrocious, and it goes behind and out for a goal kick. So 0-0 in the first half, and it was actually quite a subpar game. Other than the two real good chances Sunderland had, we'd had one good chance as well. The game was sort of being lost in the middle of the park. A lot of possession football. We couldn't really get the ball off Sunderland, but they did actually score in the 55th minute and take the lead. And I'm not going to say Butland should have saved it, but I think he might be a little bit disappointed. But still, it was 1-0 to Sunderland. Frey got the goal, and I was sitting there thinking, well, seriously, that's not even a surprise. They played better in the first half, so I'm not shocked or anything. But in the 61st minute, we saw Oscar Polo turn his blinkers on down the left-hand side. Lovely little McGeady spin as well. Keeps on going. Quick little fake for Bonner, then a rainbow flick, then a half volley, which hits the post. That would have been a lovely goal, but unfortunately it was still 1-0. And Sunderland were still leading in this game, and we couldn't seem to find the equalising goal. Again, we had a couple of chances, but we just couldn't seem to find a goal that was going to put us in front. Put us on level terms. Carrasco's shot there went just over the bar, and it was still 1-0, and as things stood, it looked as though Sunderland were going to get all 3 points in this game. It would be a very disappointing loss for us, but as Kelvin plays the ball over towards Scott Triggs here, it's another great chance. Triggsy boy goes forward, but Pickford makes the save, and we can't squeeze it in, so still Sunderland 1, Millwall 0, and after the goal Frey scored, Sunderland just backed off. It was a real surprise because they played so much better than us, but after the goal they scored, they just completely backed off and let us come forward, so we knew eventually we'd get a goal, surely, as long as we kept on putting the shots in, kept on putting piling the pressure on, and eventually the Ox turns his man and does find the back of the net to make it 1 apiece with 10 minutes remaining, and what a lovely goal it was too. Lovely little fake shot and a great finish by the former Arsenal man there as he blasted into the top corner there after a quick little fake shot on the edge of the area, no, just inside the area actually, to make it 1 apiece. And I'm not going to say I was relieved at the Oxlade-Chamberlain score because we did deserve a point, if nothing else, because although Sunderland had a really good first half, we did play really well. We had a lot of shots too, and I knew eventually we'd score. It's one of those games on career mode where I'm sure you guys have had them as well. That even though you're still losing this game and there's only a few minutes to go, eventually you'll put the ball in the back of the net because you've played so much better, and it's a numbers game really. But in the 83rd minute we almost made it 2-1 there as Oscar Polo hits the post and Sunderland clear. So the ball hit the woodwork a couple of times in this game, and it was still 1 apiece, and it looked as though it was going to finish that way, but it was another great chance here later on, a real late flurry of chances as Carrasco collects the ball, quickly all reverse step over, gives it to the Ox shoots, but he can't double his advantage. It is still 1 apiece, and from the corner we cross the ball into the centre with Brian Carrasco looking to find the back of the net with basically the last last chance of the game. Gutierrez wins the he doesn't win the header. It goes up in the air. We give it to Ricky Tilkson, who shoots. It's a good save by the goalkeeper though, and it's out for a corner. And it was how the game would finish, so a 1-1 draw. Not the best of results, but you know, it's not a loss, and that's the main thing. We are still, of course, top of the table. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, because that is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.
I'll leave you with the full match highlights.